Would you believe me if I told you that the key to an extraordinary life isn't about adding more, but about letting go? Most people are wasting the most precious years of their lives, chasing after things that are actually dragging them down into the mud. They accumulate degrees, relationships, possessions, habits, only to realize they're suffocating in the very pile of things they built themselves. And today, I'm going to show you how I got out. I'm going to reveal the exact burdens I ruthlessly threw away, the invisible chains that held me captive for so many years. This isn't theory. This is the battle I've lived through. And the biggest question isn't, do you have the guts to do it? But rather, can you bear the cost of not doing it? Watch this video until the end, because the last thing I'm about to say might just be what saves the next 10 years of your life. First, I threw out the illusion of perfection. Listen, sweetest lie that fear weaves, to stop you from taking action. I used to be a perfectionist addict. I'd spend weeks, even months, creating the perfect business plan, writing the perfect script, waiting for the perfect moment. The result? The plan stayed on paper, the script stayed on my computer, and that perfect moment, it never came. While I was waiting, other people, the ones with just a good enough idea, they took action. They failed, they learned, and they left me miles behind. The harsh truth is this: done is always better than perfect. An 80% complete product out in the market will always beat a 100% perfect product that's still stuck in the lab. I gave up on waiting. I started taking action when I was only 70% ready. I gave myself permission to make mistakes, to look foolish. And you know what happened? The world didn't end. On the contrary, my life started moving forward. Clarity doesn't come from thinking, it comes from doing. Stop trying to paint a masterpiece in the dark. Just start with a few messy strokes. Second, I quit the addiction of people-pleasing. This is a subtle trap, a prison without bars. I used to be a willing prisoner. My calendar was packed with appointments that weren't for me, tasks that didn't serve my goals, all just to get a nod of approval, a compliment from someone else. I said yes while my entire body and mind were screaming no. My energy was drained, my time was stolen, and worst of all, I lost myself. I became a faded copy of other people's expectations. Learning how to say no, firmly but politely, is one of the most liberating skills I've ever acquired. Saying no to an unsuitable invitation is saying yes to time for yourself. Saying no to a project that exhausts you is saying yes to the energy for your own passions. Remember this quote: the key to failure is trying to please everyone. You're not a jar of candy that everyone has to like. Be a strong cup of coffee. Not everyone likes it, but for those who do, they can't live without it. Third, I quit the comparison game. Social media is a giant stage where everyone is playing the part of being happy. They show off their luxurious vacations, their fancy meals, their sparkling achievements. And here we are, sitting in our rooms, scrolling through our phones, and comparing our messy behind the scenes with their carefully edited highlight reel. This is a battle you can never win. It's designed to make you feel small, inadequate, and like a failure. I gave it up. I unfollowed accounts that made me feel bad about myself. I set strict limits on my social media time. I turned my phone from a tool of comparison into a tool for learning. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Did you read one more page of a book today? Did you exercise for 5 more minutes today? Were you a little kinder to yourself today? That's the only race that matters. If what I've just shared resonates with you, even just a little, please give this video a like. That tells me we're on the same wavelength. And if you're not yet part of the VinhPeak community, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because this journey is just getting started, and I don't want you to miss anything that's coming up. Fourth, I got rid of my just-in-case storage. Do you have a drawer, a closet, or maybe even a whole storage unit filled with just-in-case items? Just in case guests come over. Just in case I lose weight and can fit into this again. Just in case I might need it someday. I used to have that. My home wasn't a living space, it was a museum of possibilities that never happened. Those items didn't just take up physical space, they took up mental space too. Every time I looked at them, I felt guilty, stressed, and weighed down. I applied a ruthless rule. If I haven't used an item in the last 6 months, and I don't have a specific plan to use it in the next 6 months, it has to go. No mercy. It was amazing. 99% of the things I gave away, I don't even remember owning them anymore. My life went on, and it actually felt lighter and more spacious. Your living space should be a place for you to live in the present, not a storage unit for the burdens of the past or anxieties about an uncertain future. Fifth, I broke free from my digital chains. The smartphone is a great invention, but it's also an incredibly demanding boss. It rings, it vibrates, it flashes, it demands your attention 24/7. News alerts, work emails, social media notifications. We're living in an endless storm of information. I used to be a slave to it. I'd check my phone the moment I woke up, and right before I went to sleep. I replied to emails instantly, as if it were a matter of life and death. I couldn't focus on work for more than 15 minutes without getting distracted. Then, I started a revolution. I turned off all notifications, except for calls from my loved ones. I set specific times during the day to check email and social media, instead of letting them control me. I turned my phone back into a tool, a servant, not a master. The change was incredible. I got my deep focus back. I got my moments of peace back. I became more present in conversations with the people I love. Try it. Take back control of your mind. Sixth, I abandoned the belief in hustle culture. Society glorifies being busy. We're taught that we have to work ourselves to the bone, sacrifice sleep, and fill every single gap in our schedules. Being busy is seen as a badge of honor. That is a lie. Never confuse movement with progress. A mouse running on a wheel is also very busy, but it's not going anywhere. I was once caught in that trap. I'd work 12-hour days, proud of the fact that I had no time to breathe. But in reality, I wasn't more productive. I was just more exhausted. I was avoiding important decisions by filling my time with trivial tasks. Now, I work less, but with higher quality. I follow the 80-20 principle. 80% of the results come from 20% of the effort. I identify the 1 or 2 most important things that need to be done each day, and I focus all my energy on completing them. The rest is just noise. Rest isn't laziness. Rest is a strategic part of achieving peak performance. Work like a lion. Focus intensely on the hunt, and then rest completely. Don't work like a cow, mindlessly grazing all day long. Seventh, I stopped chasing happiness as a destination. When I get that job, I'll be happy. When I buy that house, I'll be happy. When I reach 1 million subscribers, I'll be happy. I used to live with those thoughts. I placed my happiness in some distant future, on some far-off goal. And when I reached the goal, you know what happened? A strange feeling of emptiness. The joy only lasted a few days, and then I just set a new goal, a new destination to chase. I realized a life-changing truth. Happiness isn't the destination, it's the journey. It's not found in achieving the goal, but in the very process of striving to reach it. It's in the small wins every day, in learning a new skill, in overcoming a challenge. I stopped setting vague goals. Instead, I started building systems. Instead of the goal lose 10 kilograms, I built the system of exercise 30 minutes every day and eat healthy. The results will come on their own. And more importantly, I find joy in the act of following that system every single day. This journey isn't easy, and that's why I built this channel, VinhPeak, so we can have a community to walk this path together, to share with each other, and to grow together. If you want to continue with me on this path of discovering a simpler, more meaningful, and freer life, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because the greatest value is still ahead, so there you have it. 7 burdens, 7 chains that I threw away to reclaim my freedom. Simplifying your life isn't about living in hardship. It's not about getting rid of all your possessions and moving to a mountain. It's an intentional act. It's about removing the non-essential to make more room for what truly matters. Your health, your relationships, your peace of mind, and your creativity. The more I subtracted, the more I added to my life. And now, It's your turn. Take an honest look at your life. What burden is holding you back? What chain is tying you down? The final question I have for you, the most important question, isn't, what more do you need to be happy? But rather, what are you willing to give up to be free? Leave your answer in the comments below. I'm VinhPeak, and I'll see you in the next video.